Reviewing the financial menu. We can start by clicking on Financial, then Accounts, Items, Classes by Location, and then click on the Select Location Preferences by Department. This opens up the Location Information form. You can see we have a list of departments. The default departments are the Service Department and the POS Department, but Parts and Service Manager allows an unlimited number of departments, and if you don't see your department listed, we can easily add it in for you. Each department on this list can be linked to its own accounts and classes in QuickBooks. Let's take a look at Service. This brings up the Preferences by Pay Code by Department form. The purpose of this form is to map out all the accounts, items, classes, and sales tax used on an invoice that is going to be sent to QuickBooks. Up top we have 5 tabs. The first 4 are pay codes. We have the Customer, Warranty Pay Code, Insurance, and Customer Other, or Third Party. Okay, let's go over this form. First we have the Accounts section, and this is where you'll be picking your accounts from QuickBooks. Use the drop-down to select the accounts receivable account you will use. Keep in mind these fields are coming directly from QuickBooks. The Invoice Line section uses QuickBooks items to map the items on an invoice to a specific account in the QuickBooks General Ledger. We can see over to the left we have our 4 task items: labor, materials, sublet, and freight. And again, we click on the drop-down to select the item we want to use. And in this example, this item for service labor would be connected to the income account for service labor. And that's how it works. And then you would just go down and select your parts, your sublet, and your freight item. This section below is the cost of goods sold and inventory asset accounts. Here we are picking the item that points to the inventory account we want to use for our parts, cost of goods sold for any parts on a service order, and of course we pick our class, in this case the Service Department. Up here to the right, this is where we tell the system what tax rate to use, whether a particular task item is taxable or non-taxable. So you are picking a QuickBooks sales tax item here, and a QuickBooks Sales Tax Code here. In the Classes section, we can fill in the classes we want for our various tasks. And finally, we have the section for discounts. The items used for discounts are typically the same as the parts and labor income accounts used, as in this case. If you want your discounts to post to different accounts, they will need to be set up in QuickBooks. Keep in mind, all the items, classes, and accounts that we are seeing need to be set up in QuickBooks initially. If you have a change that you need to make, you will have to go into QuickBooks and set up your items and accounts and update that information into Total Management. Then you will be able to select that new information from this form. We have 2 more items on the financial menu. We have the sublet categories. Here we are listing the sublet categories that you may use for your company. And again, these items are coming from QuickBooks, so when you send your invoice over to QuickBooks, it will indicate on the service order what sublet category it is. Over to the right, if a part on a sublet is taxable, we can indicate that here by checking the box, and the same goes for tax labor. And finally, we have other item categories. Here we have a list of other charges you may have on a service order. The column on the right, you can select the class you want to put them in, and you can also indicate if any of the other charges are taxable or non-taxable. And down bottom we have a reminder: the items listed here must be associated to the item Other in QuickBooks, meaning that the items listed here must be associated with the parent item Other in QuickBooks. And that's the financial menu.